Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek Jain and welcome back to the tutorial series on InfluxDB Part 5. In previous part, we have covered how we can upload the Docker container stats for the CPU and memory to the InfluxDB. In today's video, we're going to understand how we can upload the pod resources for CPU and memory to the InfluxDB. Right. So without further delay, let me just quickly show you what we have. So what I have done is under the mini cube, I have run, bunch of pods, which you can see on my screen. So we have some 9, 10 pods. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna extract the CPU and the memory usage for all those pods and just put it on InfluxDB and see how InfluxDB actually shows us those results. Right. So as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to write our own collector in Python. Okay, so I'm going to create a new directory, Python package, and I'm going to call it as Kubernetes. Okay, and then I'm going to create a one stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have written a simple Python code, which I'm going to copy paste here. I'm going to explain you what. So I'm using a sub-process module of Python, and then I'm going to use this Kubernetes command, which uses kubectl, top pods. What it does, it actually provides us, let me just show you how it actually works, right? So if I just put pods, it's pretty much stop command like we use in Linux, but in Kubernetes world, through this kubectl, we can just say kubectl top pods, which is going to give us, the CPU and the memory uses for all the pods, right? Since we are not giving any namespace, then it's just giving us from the default. But if you want, you can just use -n and whatever the namespace you have, right? Okay, so what we can do now, let's get back here and try to understand. As I mentioned, this is my command through fstring. I'm just accepting this namespace so that this method, you can just call for any given namespace. And what this command is going to do is it's going to extract, the CPU and the memory uses for that given namespace. Then I'm using this result. So here, if you want, we can just put that in a try and except, but that is something which is related to Python. So we should not be worried about that. So I'm running that process, sub-process run command. And then I'm just verifying the result, and then this is just a way through which I'm just converting that output, into the list, right? And then I'm reiterating, every line. Because what happens is, as I showed, when we hit this command, we get this first title line. So I want to remove that. So that's the reason, that is why we have this if clause here. And once we remove this, then rest of the stuff we want to save in my JSON dictionary, So I'm creating a dictionary and I'm just extracting the name, CPU using the memory. If you just see in line, we are splitting, the first element, second and third, and we know that we are getting three things: name, CPU, and the memory usage. And here we are just building that dictionary, right? Which is very easy. And then eventually I'm just returning. So what I'm doing here is, since we have so many pods, so what it's doing for every pod, it's creating this dictionary and just appending it. So eventually we're gonna get the, the list of all the pods for their CPU and the memory usage. Right? So this is what this command does. Now what we're gonna do, as usual, I'm gonna say this is the program, this is the Python code which we have written last time, and this time we're gonna call it is send Kubernetes. Okay, paste here. Okay, so bucket, we can say instead of Docker resource uses, we can say Kubernetes resource uses, right? Same thing, I'm gonna keep it same. Now we have to just create the bucket. So let's create a bucket. Okay, so Kubernetes resource uses, never. Okay, great. So good here. We got this bucket. So we're coming back here. So I'll change this. Okay. Same instantiating, the client. So getting an object, and then we are creating a write API object. We don't need this, these two line, but we need this interval to fetch stats that we want to, while true, we always want to run it. But here, rather than using a Docker client, what we need is Kubernetes. So let's go. So stats collector. Okay. So what we can do now, we can this say namespace goes to default because I just have all the pods running in default. But in the meantime, what I can do, I can just create kubectl create space. Okay. Then what I can do, I'm installing just Kafka. Okay. So that way we gonna have two different namespaces. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna run for the default. In default, we have these many pods, right? So this is running in default. Okay, so it looks good. Now, what else we want? So whenever we run this method, if we just see, we are going to get this stats for pods and list. So basically we have to iterate through that list. Okay. So we can say stats. So what we are getting here is name. So if I just go back here, usage, and say oh, here I can say use those. Okay, so stuff looks good. Cool. And load on stats. This is gonna be the measurement. It's good. I think we should be good. Okay. Um, cool. So let's try to run and see if I haven't made any mistake. Then we should be here. Get back here. Get Explorer. Resource. Call this new stats. Good. Okay. So let's check for the CPU uses. Marketplace, Postgres, for okay. type type for the string. Oh, why this is happening because you know the reason. The reason is we are getting this mi and this m, which is a string, so we have to handle that. Okay, so let's quickly try to do something. First, so, so you can do this. Just wait to okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna say one because we are getting n, and then I'm going to first one. So starting, so we should be good, but we want to is for. So we say okay, cool. Because we should be good now. Save it. Close. String. Okay, so the data got saved as a string. So to handle that, what we can do, we can come back here and bucket. We can from the same bucket again. Open. Now go back to the Explorer. We're going to use usage of cool. So now we are getting this. It's getting loaded. So now we can see data is being loaded. Okay, so now we can see these lines where the data is actually getting loaded. Now we can see the values. Yes, so you can see the values for CPU usage. Some of it can be for the memory usage as well. And if I just go next to that. You can see all these, right? So this is how you can, upload uh, data for the Kubernetes, right? It's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is to just create, your own pod stats collector, and then you have to just use the same code which we have been writing so far in previous few parts, right? So code looks pretty much same, and probably in future when we're gonna cover some more complicated scenarios, at that point of time we try to just streamline this and standardize this piece of code, but not for now. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you have any feedback or any suggestion, please feel free to put that into the comment section, and stay healthy, keep learning a new thing, and as always, thanks for watching this.